for September 8th, 2014. I'm Levi, along with my colleague Jamil and a new colleague, Devo or Devon, and
I prefer Devo.
okay, Devo, and we're going to be reviewing Raw. So, guys, introduce yourself again,
Hey, I'm Jamil.
Devo.
and we're going to review some Raw. So let's start. And if you watched our previous video, let's review SmackDown. We actually started reviewing Raw from over there, but we're going to carry over from here. And to start off Raw for the 8th of September, they actually, instead of doing the usual approach to talking, they actually started off with a cage match between Chris Jericho and Bray Wyatt. So that was fairly interesting to see, them shake things up, as it was the season premiere of Raw. So it was something different. Throughout the match, we had Bray Wyatt showing his offensive technical skills, throwing himself into the cage, had doing the spider walk, his usual stuff. It was just entertaining. Jamil, would you like to say anything?
I mean, the Bray Bray Wyatt is, as I said in our previous podcast, I said that if John Cena did not exist, that he was not born on this earth, Bray Wyatt would be the WWE World Heavyweight Champion right now. But he gets buried by Mr. Shoveler John Cena repeatedly over and over and over again. And yeah,
I'm gonna refute that comment with my own. I don't think they know what to do with the Wyatts yet. I think their intentional thing to do with the Wyatts was to put them against the Shield, but the Shield's not a thing anymore. So they're like trying to figure something out. And Bray Wyatt's the best mic man in the WWE, in my opinion. He's the best. Like nobody can touch him. But
not even Heyman.
how? What'd you say?
I was going to say not even Paul Heyman.
Not even Paul Heyman. Like, I mean, because it's weird. Because his mic skills, they're different. He's the first person to ever pull off a character like that. Like, and he pulls off his character
I
perfectly. It's
I
like,
like I like to refute that because actually Bray Wyatt, his gimmick is recycled from '90s Waylon Mercy. I'm not sure if you guys ever heard of him, but
Yeah,
Waylon Mercy, that's actually where his gimmick came from. So, I mean, I agree with you. Like, it's the first of its kind and all, but they had to recycle the gimmick, and it actually won over with Bray Wyatt. But
yeah,
as you were, Devo.
whatever, great. And it's like, and it was I think what was supposed to happen was like they all grew their beards out, and like the thing with Daniel Bryan, I think Daniel Bryan was supposed to. They didn't think Daniel Bryan was going to be as much as a face, and like they didn't think the crowd would be around, like they wouldn't gather around him as much as they didn't think that nothing like that would happen for Daniel Bryan. Because I personally don't like Daniel Bryan. I don't. He's great in the ring, but he's garbage on the mic, and like I just think his gimmick is butt. It's butt. Like
What,
that's
what
all I gotta say. Man.
what would you even have to describe his gimmick? Like, what would you describe Daniel Bryan's gimmick anyway?
Chris Benoit. That ends the discussion. Chris Benoit.
Pop.
Chris Benoit with the
Just
goat
a little,
strangle.
yeah, just a little man. But yeah, they just don't know what to do with the Wyatts, and like as soon as they figure out what to do with them, I think it's gonna work. But like at the beginning of it, the Wyatts were, I think they were great. They're the group, and I think they definitely, Cena definitely steamrolled all over their character because
Yeah.
like I'm not gonna say that's a negative thing because that's the only way people are gonna watch Brock Lesnar versus Cena 3. But I mean, yeah,
I was going to mention, excuse me, another thing about the Wyatt family. I mean, I'm not gonna I'm not gonna pick and choose sides, but when I saw that John Cena, or yeah, had John Cena been attacked by Bray Wyatt, I knew that
They're
like
feeding Cena.
like everyone before Wyatt, he's going to be fed to Cena, just like Ryback, just like Dolph Ziggler. No, Dolph Ziggler wasn't fed to him. Alberto Del Rio, Edge. Dear God, Edge was fed to him numerous times.
and,
Batista.
but the thing, oh, sorry for interrupting you, Levi, but like they were like between him and Edge, they were just like it's basically like an even fist fight. They were punching and the other guy was punching back because I think they traded the championship like 8 times, like in
Yeah.
6 months. So
Yeah. Because like in like a time in like 2005 to like 2000 to the end of ECW, 2005 to the end of ECW. Whenever the original ECW, whenever there was RVD versus John Cena. From that time to like 2005, it was just Edge and Cena. That's all it was in WWE. Just Edge and
yeah,
Cena.
Oh yeah, big time. Yeah, very. I don't know if you guys remember, but Edge was actually in the hotel, and somebody knocked on the door. It turned out to be Cena. He was like, "Finally, they're here." And then I think that he got thrown into the river by Cena. Remember
yeah.
that?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was funny to watch. But again, and then they moved from Edge being Cena's, punching bag to Orton. I don't know if you guys remember also, but Rated RKO, one of the best tag teams of the pre-PG era. That was, seeing those two, that was hilarious. It was kind of reminded me of Edge and Christian because they always did the concerto, and that's what Rated RKO did. Once again, stellar gimmick, stellar tag team. People that paid their dues, being fed to the company boy, the golden boy.
Well, what I gotta say about Randy Orton. Randy Orton, not at all. He didn't pay his dues at that time. 'Cause he was 19 and he got signed into the WWE just because his dad was in the WWE. And 2 years
Yep.
later, he was brought up into the Big Show. So I don't think Randy Orton paid his dues at all. Now Edge, he he did the dirty work.
I was gonna say Edge. He actually worked his mother.
Yeah,
He wanted to be in the WWE simply to support his mother. He still doesn't know his dad to this day, and he wanted his mom, to live good. What kid doesn't want their parents to, they don't want their parents to have to go through, harsh times. And his adventure into WWE was one of hard work. You had to, he wrote an essay or something to some dude. He got accepted by him. It was the best. He started training from there, and that's where he became known as Edge. And I don't want.
Okay. Sorry.
Oh, sorry, Jamal. I don't want to get off focus, but get back to the Chris Jericho Wyatt with after you guys' fact or opinions on that. But go ahead, panel.
So I'm gonna say something else about Orton. It's like Orton didn't make it here on his own. It's like he didn't like he got in WWE because of his dad, his father, and he
yep.
got to where he is right now because of like Ric Flair. He made coattails off of beating like Shawn Michaels after beating the Undertaker, after beating Mick Foley. He made his coattails when they were already established. He didn't make his own. He made his name beating legends.
Hence his name, the Legend Killer.
Yeah.
Devo, you want to say anything?
I think at this point in time, Randy Orton is. I think he's definitely one of the top guys, even though they're like not really pushing him that much. But he can sell. I think he's the best sell in WWE. He sells the moves the best. He definitely has a very diverse move set. His mic skills are like subpar to mediocre at best.
Yeah.
But excuse me. But yeah, I think at this point Randy Orton definitely paid his dues. But at the time of Rated RKO, they only made Rated RKO for somebody like on the manner, like on the stature of DX
I was going to
that they
add.
can compete with. So.
I was going to mention too. Before Rated RKO came along, guess who did come along?
Who?
You guys know?
Wait, like
It's the,
what
it's the,
tag team? Or?
I was going to say it's the Spirit Squad. The Spirit Squad was actually DX's punching bags, and respect to Dolph Ziggler for being in WWE that long. He's paid his dues. I think he should be a WWE champion. He's been working hard so long, and he did get to the world heavyweight title, which
He's
is
injury prone. That's what he said in the last podcast. He's injury prone.
yeah, and
Talking about somebody whose characters recycled, Dolph Ziggler, Rick Rude, and Mr. Perfect, bundled in one,
and Billy Gunn. Don't forget Billy Gunn.
and Billy Gunn.
But yeah,
Three different personality gimmicks.
but yeah, going back to Chris Jericho versus Bray Wyatt for the opening segment of Raw. Wyatt won over with the steel cage match. He showed that he has skills. It was him and Chris Jericho trying to get out the door, and he kept on beating on Chris Jericho's knee because he tweaked it after he dabbed off the cage. He started tweaking it, and he'd climb over the thing, and Wyatt would actually climb over him for the win. After the match, Wyatt slammed it on his knee, and we'll get later into why Randy attacked Orton. I mean, Randy attacked Jericho later, but yeah, Wyatt, they're trying to reestablish him since he got buried, I think, 3 times by Cena, and they're trying to reestablish him as, a legitimate heel, because once you get buried by Cena, you're pretty much Damien Sandow, as mentioned in the previous podcast.
Like I said before, I just think they're just scrambling anything together with the Whites to keep them somewhat relevant until they figure out what to do with them. Because they're just like, all right, okay, wrestle Chris Jericho, and maybe that will get you to where you want to be. And it's just they don't know what to do with them. They need to go back to how they were at the beginning as like beasts in the WWE. And I don't think they should have disbanded the Shield, no matter how much I hated them. I think they should have only added onto the Shield and like added Randy Orton and maybe like added somebody else and to have them clash together because that would have been one of the best feuds in the past couple of years if the Shield and the Wyatts would have went at it.
I was going to say, yeah, they, geez, what was I getting ready to say? I was going to say, actually, the Shield, you guys remember the Nexus, how John Cena, they had the chance to turn John Cena heel when he joined Nexus. I was so happy to see him join Nexus simply because either he was going to become a heel or, he was going to, we weren't going to see Cena as a face no more. We were going to see Cena as somebody that he was before he became a face. And, it excited me until he was like, until I am in this group, I'm going to destroy it from the inside. I was like, wow, dude, come on, way to kill everyone's hopes and dreams. It's.
But the only way that Cena's ever going to turn heel is if there's an established superstar that's a face that can never turn heel. Like, I mean, The Rock, Rock is a face now. He almost, Cena was a heel briefly for WrestleMania 28, it was. I think the first time Rock and Cena fought. He was a heel then because he couldn't get over as a face. Because no one was going to cheer for Cena because they hadn't seen Rock in a decade. So, I'll say the only way Cena's going to turn heel if they bring back an established face Kurt Angle or Jeff Hardy. Cena's not going to be a face against either of them.
I think Cena said he said it on Twitter a couple months ago or a couple weeks ago I think where he said his biggest dream in the WWE is to become a heel. I think it's just I don't know if he actually does want to become a heel. I think it's more of a joke, but if they put him heel, I think that's where he would need to be to get back the male demographic they're looking for. Because the rapper Cena was he was the biggest. He was when he first got pushed. When he the feud with JBL started, he was the biggest guy in the WWE. That's why they moved him to Raw. But I mean, now it's at the point where, like you guys said in the other one, where in the other podcast, where it's just kids and moms who love John Cena. I love John Cena as well because I think he's definitely the greatest WWE champion to ever live. But
and besides Bruno and
Kurt Angle from Pittsburgh, but
he's the 21st century Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, the 21st century Hulk Hogan, and if they turn him heel, that's what's going to get him back to where he was. But I don't see him doing that anytime soon. And speaking of Kurt Angle, in 8 days his TNA contract expires, so crossing my fingers for WWE return.
I was going to say, if Kurt Angle returns to WWE, I would love to hear from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Repping Pittsburgh again.
Yeah,
feels
I wouldn't
good.
be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if a deal's already in the works and they're going to bring Raw to Pittsburgh in the near future. I wouldn't be surprised if it already.
I was going to say, I don't know if you guys remember either, but Kurt Angle, when he was in Pittsburgh, we didn't say that you suck. We just went along with cheering with him, but when he was a heel, the crowd chanted "You suck," but they still cheered for him. They didn't boo him no more. I don't know if I found that always funny.
And that's a trademark for him because when he was a face, they still said "You suck," but I mean I guess it was towards the guy who he was facing. So that's Kurt Angle's I think he's underrated on the mic. He's the best technical wrestler ever lived, and if WWE brought him back as a part timer, I think he would do better than The Rock or Brock.
Yeah, I was going to say, not just saying that because we're all from Pittsburgh here, but, seeing Kurt Angle, I mean, sure, he's had his problems with alcohol and everything, but seeing him back in the ring and hearing from Pittsburgh, seeing him with, because that's all Jack Swagger is a recycled Kurt Angle gimmick, except without minus the Olympic gold, all that other stuff. It'd be good to see Kurt Angle come back home. So yeah. Anything else you want to say, guys, before moving on?
I'm good. I'm
Yeah,
content.
that's it.
Okay, so next, we get Dolph Ziggler's promo of The Miz and the leaked photos. I don't know if anyone else is staying up to current events, but it was like something with some leaked celebrity
Oh, yeah.
nudes from.
Every celebrity news, lots of celebrity news were leaked from the cloud, from the Apple iCloud.
Yeah, and Dolph Ziggler would gain some, or yeah, I guess some face heat from showing leaked photos of The Miz. And before the third one could be shown, Miz came out and said, like, "Don't you dare! I will ruin you," and all that stuff. And Dolph's like, I'm not going to regret this," and show it. And they show Damien Sandow like shaving Miz's buttocks, and Miz is like enjoying it. And he just gives Dolph like this stare, like, "Did you really just do that?" It's kind of like Booker T, "Tell me he didn't just say that." It was kind of like that. So
Like, it just like, how many times are they going to recycle this Hollywood gimmick?
I was gonna
The Rock is the original Hollywood.
say, if you're gonna do first The Rock, then Batista, now The Miz, really? And he's the star of The Marine, like a WWE film. You know where WWE films go, straight to DVD.
Like,
The Marine, not even the Marine, the Marine 3.
The Rock made the Scorpion King.
And now he broke a record because that was the highest grossing like rookie like film for a starting role or whatever.
Rookie star ever.
Yeah, and
The Rock is a true star. It's like the Miz made the Marine. They didn't even hit the theaters. It went straight to DVD.
right, just like all the other like CM Punk said to Triple H back then, or should I say Triple H. He said, "How?" Triple H asked him, "How's your movie doing?" And he responded, "Oh yeah, it's good. It went straight to DVD just like yours." The whole crowd just started laughing at Triple H. And Devo, we haven't got your input. You like to say anything, man?
What about Miz?
Yeah, about the whole like gimmick and the segment. Would you like to say anything?
I think his gimmick, like, I don't think the original Miz awesome gimmick worked for him per se. Like, I mean, he was champion for what, a year, and like I guess they just couldn't find anybody else like better to feud with Cena.
I was gonna,
Yeah, that was the problem. That was the thing. They didn't have anyone else better than Cena. Better than Miz at the time of the fights.
I was gonna mention.
Orton was having his weed troubles at the time. So it would have been bad for him, for the business for him.
I was going to mention about the Miz. This man has been trying to get in WWE since Tough Enough started premiering, like back in 2002 or whatever. This man has tried to be in WWE for so long. He finally got in '06 when he was a SmackDown announcer or whatever, and they started building him up. He
with Morrison.
Yeah, he tag teamed with Morrison on ECW. They had the dirt sheet and all that. And at that time, I guess, like Devo said, there was nobody else like that they could feud with Cena because once you hit a certain point in WWE, you have to be, I guess, fed or you have to feud with Cena. So, yeah. But this whole segment, it was PG. It's funny just somewhat, but it's not that funny. It won't make me drop on the floor, that knee slapper laugh or whatever. But yeah.
But something I think is missing from WWE?
Say again?
You know what I think is missing from WWE?
What?
The generation feuds. Like to say like the like Hogan and Andre the Giant, or Hogan and Macho Man, Rock, Austin. Like they're missing the generation feud. It's like it could have been Orton and Cena, but Orton with his weed troubles and Cena, they don't want anyone being equal to Cena.
I mean, I'm guessing that's what they try to do with The Rock and Cena, and that's what they're trying to do with Brock and Cena. The thing is about Brock Lesnar, The Rock said it on Sports Nation a couple of days ago, or like maybe 2 weeks ago, that after WrestleMania 29, it wasn't even supposed to be like The Rock wasn't supposed to go away. He was supposed to start a feud with Brock Lesnar, and I guess after
Rock
The
towards
Rock,
the end of the
yeah, The Rock got hurt, and so I guess they were again scrambling to find out what to do with his character, and yeah, and I guess that just comes around to Cena.
Yeah. And is that all you guys want to say for all of this?
Yeah, that segment
What?
that
Okay.
segment was a three at its best.
Yeah, that's the thing.
um, yeah, and moving on. I'm not sure because school's back starting up. I gotta get my sleep schedule back on track. But did anyone notice like any network plugs anywhere between these segments?
Um,
Oh yeah, they had Cena with his old WWE World Heavyweight Championship around his neck with his towel, and then it said WWE Network 999 on it.
Oh my God,
yeah.
this is
And
what.
then they had the it said the Rated R Superstar Edge will become the first Mr. Money in the Bank on the network.
Oh yeah, the did you know facts. Those things make me laugh because first of all, some of that stuff I find to be absolutely false. Like Monday Night Raw is watched more than Monday Night Football. Yeah, okay. There's more
Yeah,
WWE.
let's watch more than Monday Night Football, Keeping Up with the Kardashians, the entire Bravo network combined. Okay.
Right. Like I'm really supposed to believe that? Like there's really, and I hate the term WWE Universe. I absolutely just hate that term. Like, and you know what's funny? It's called the Universe. Guess what the wrestlers are called? Superstars. I'm like, I hate the terminology that they have for the fans because it just gets annoying here in the WWE Universe. And I don't know if you guys noticed, but the crowd of the PG era is like they're breaking the entertainers are breaking the fourth wall with them so many times. It's ridiculous. Like they'll say, I don't think these people they want that attitude. There, the fans weren't, you know, they weren't interactive with much about a superstar. You feel me?
Besides Austin, besides the only give me a hell yeah. I'm the
Oh
only
yeah, yeah. I said what? Stuff like that.
yeah.
Um,
I think the crowds have definitely evolved from back then because if you watch wrestling from the era, like
Belly.
everything just seemed more high.
Devo, your voice is lagging, bud.
Yeah.
Like when I watched the 1998, Mark, I'm
Yeah, yeah, you're in. Yeah, keep going.
good. Am I good?
Yeah, you're good.
Hello? um. Okay. The with it. It just doesn't seem like the crowds today are like as into it as they used to be. Like the 1998 Royal Rumble, everything was just like hype. It was like a party in the crowd. It was more an event to be a part of the audience than it was to actually watch the show. But like ever since they changed to PG, which I think was a horrible mistake,
Oh
uh,
yeah, big time.
it's just been garbage. It's only to pander to the little kids that watch wrestling, and that's most of their audience is little kids. But
Right, little kids and women.
yeah,
And Jamil, or you want to say something? Who's drinking soda?
No, nothing.
Uh,
I'm not gonna.
um, but yeah, moving on. We got Natalia and Rosa Mendez, who can wrestle, versus AJ Lee and Paige. Before we talk about this segment, like I mentioned in our previous podcast about the SmackDown review, you got two of the best diva wrestler, entertainer superstars since Trish Stratus and Lita. You got two of the best, and yet you push the Total Diva storyline, which is absolutely stupid. I can't stand this storyline. It kind of makes me like wonder: am I really watching this for the storyline, or am I watching this for the actual entertainment? I mean, like wrestling, And you got the talented divas in those two, but yet you push the Total Diva storyline, which I heard was scripted. Um, from Cameron and Naomi's experience, they said that they had to embrace black stereotypes, which isn't cool. I mean, look at Vince back in the '90s with the Nation of Domination. You saw, Farouk with the Pan-African colors, the parody of Nation of Islam, and I don't know where this group went, but the group of Kofi Kingston, Xavier Woods, and Big E Langston,
Man, power group, like they call it.
yeah, the Nation 2.0, and are they gone or what?
Yeah, they're gone. Like I would actually would have loved to see Kofi turn heel because
I
I
was
think Kofi's one of the most talented wrestlers in WWE, but they just can't find a character for him. His character when he was in ECW was the Jamaican man, but like he doesn't know how to do the accent, so he's like his character wasn't even he like they don't know what to do with him.
I was gonna say that was be his first time turning heel too. He's never been a heel. He's always been a face. So it been interesting to see where they would have went with him as a heel. Because you test things out in WWE. Like you test somebody else as a heel, see if the crowd hates him or see if the crowd still likes him. Like Dean Ambrose, I think his original plan after the Shield broke up was to become a member, not a member, was to become heel and not face. But since like the gimmick got over, since his lunatic fringe gimmick got over, the crowd has been behind him 100%. And right now, he should be the one being pushed instead of Roman Reigns simply because of the crowd.
Oh God, if it's one person I can't stand it's Dean Ambrose. Like how does somebody like I don't think his mic skills are on par at all. He does like a fake Joker type thing. Like I'm demented and disturbed, so don't mess with me.
It's like Psycho Sid 2.0.
Yeah, he's like his he looks out of shape. Like as a guy, he looks like he has my torso. Like I don't know how anybody in the WWE can have my torso and succeed, but he does. And like his move set is mediocre at best. Like I just don't like I can't stand Dean Ambrose. Like I think the Shield was the only way for him to go because nobody in the Shield ever talked, and that's how it should have been. Nobody in the Shield should talk. Get somebody to talk for him. Don't let anybody in the Shield talk because that's gonna exterminate the character. Because like that's why I think Roman Reigns is the best out of the three because he doesn't talk. He just does it.
But being as that he's being pushed right now, they're gonna have him have to build. Like I said, he's gonna have to build up his mic skills because you can't have the face of the company and the guy not saying anything. You feel me? Like John Cena, he attempts to, and I forget what Raw episode of Raw it was. It was like back in July or June. There was a backstage segment between Reigns and Cena, and Cena, I got this from Bruce Blitz. He's a YouTuber that I'm inspired to create these reviews from. He's a pretty good reviewer. I'll post his channel in the description. But Cena speaks in this monotone voice. He can't like he. I don't know if you guys remember watching what movie was it? Troll 2 in Mr. Eamon's class. You guys
Oh
remember?
God.
You remember how they spoke in that film?
Yes.
I was gonna say that's how he is speaking pretty much.
Oh.
Like, but being as that Reigns is going to be the future of the company, they're going to have to build up his mic skills. And the sad thing is, his mic skills, like he's going to have to start talking soon, Devo. I
No,
mean,
no, but the thing about Reigns, I'm gonna give you a perfect example of somebody who never talked and was the face of the company, the biggest person in wrestling at one point. Goldberg.
uh,
Goldberg, he guess what? And guess when Goldberg started to fail? When he went to the WWE, they're like, "Talk, uh, I'm gonna crush Triple H and Batista for breaking my ankle." Yeah, Goldberg. Yeah, it doesn't work. And, like they just need to keep Roman Reigns quiet. They need to get somebody like Paul Heyman to speak up for him, or just not have him talk at all. But
right.
that's how Ryback got exterminated as a character because like they kept him quiet at the beginning and like he was huge, and then when Stevie Moore was always just said he should have made him like sound like a complete idiot, but like he's a beast. Like you don't want to mess with him.
Or
But like as soon
Festus.
as he, yeah, like well not Festus because Festus that character was just dumb. It's like Rusev before Rusev. But Ryback as soon as he opened his mouth, just disrespected.
I was going to say, another thing with Goldberg too, he only did say like one word. He always said, or not one word. He was like, "So you want to know who's next?" And he was like, "You're next." So yeah. And anything else before we move on, gentlemen?
Nope.
I'm gonna say just like CM Punk said, the WWE would be a much better place if Vince just died.
Oh,
Oh,
come on, dude. Don't say that. He's the hardest working person in the WWE.
I say he has enough stress on his back with Linda failing to win Senate or Congress for
Oh, you can do it.
Connecticut.
He's the same WWE then.
But yeah, it's enough on his back that he's losing. It's enough on his back that he's losing money, and also the WWE Network was a flop because they didn't reach the intended amount of the subscribers. So,
The
it's kind
reason
of
it's a combination of him too because he left the company to his daughter and Paul Levesque.
No, he didn't. That's what the story is,
The
but
chairman.
he's very active in the WWE. Back like everything that goes on backstage, he goes to every event. Like,
I know that, but Triple H is the president of talent relations.
no. He's the COO.
No, backstage he's the president of talent relations.
Yeah,
He took over John Laurinaitis' job.
yeah.
Hmm.
And NXT was a genius idea, I must say. NXT's really. I watch all the YouTube clips because I don't have the network, but NXT is a great product.
Oh
And
yeah,
great talent.
big time, big
Yeah.
time. Um, so moving on to the next segment, we actually had another. This is from a previous podcast. We had John Cena and Paul Heyman. The little gimmick, his why he loves being John Cena. I don't see why Cena has to just copy someone's like gimmick or like catchphrase. Like, have you realized too that his gimmick, he has no gimmick? Remember how back in 2004 when he had the white rapper gimmick?
Yeah. The big square.
He was Marky Mark. That's who he was. He was Marky Mark.
Marky Mark. Like Christian said it. And the thing is, he had a gimmick back then, but when he just started getting the belt handed to him after time again, his gimmick. He didn't have a gimmick. He just was. You like everyone has and everyone in WWE. I talked to my dad about this a lot. Everyone in the WWE has a gimmick and has like a catchphrase and a finisher that corresponds to their character or their name. Like Bo Dallas, the Bo Dog. Bo Lee is his gimmick. Bray Wyatt, Sister Abigail. It fits the gimmick.
Subliminal. RKO. Randy Keith Orton.
Right, his initials. Tombstone Piledriver, Undertaker, Deadman, and John Cena, the AA. The AA.
It was the FU because it did go with the rapper gimmick. And the thing about John Cena, his thing now, he's the WWE. He's literally their attitude checker. Like he's like, all right, you think you're good? All right, come face me. I'm gonna destroy you, and that's gonna be your attitude adjustment.
Wrestle.
Perfectly.
Wrestle.
That was nice,
You can't
Devo.
wrestle. Can't wrestle.
He can't wrestle.
I mean, the Hurricane Rana was awful, but I mean,
It was abysmal. It's not even a hurricane run. It's a scenic run. It's not even a hurricane run.
I mean, Luke,
he gets powerbombed every time he tries to do it.
for someone to do the Hurricane Rana like Luke Harper, I remember seeing that. I was like, did he just do a Hurricane Rana? And like looking at his body, his body type, that doesn't look like the type of guy that do a Hurricane Rana. You see a Hurricane Rana from a cruiserweight, somebody like Sami Zayn, Rey Mysterio, even though he's old now, people like that. So,
He's a powerhouse now.
but yeah, this promo was marked by, why I love being John Cena, because I can be John Cena, it was what did he say? Eat, sleep, be John Cena, repeat like 16 times for his reign, his championship reigns, and then he said, why I love being John Cena? He was actually crying during this promo. I don't know if you guys picked it up, but every time he touches like heart with what he does with Make-A-Wish, he always starts getting emotional. Have you guys noticed that?
He's living out his dream, Levi.
Say
That's
again?
what he does.
He's living out his dream.
Yeah, you're right. But he said, why I love being John Cena? It's because I see those kids' faces, and with their wish, they want to hang out with John Cena for a day. That makes me feel good. And, like I said in the previous podcast, I respect Cena a huge amount for what he does with Make-A-Wish. I respect that. but I just don't like him in the ring. He's not entertaining. He can't wrestle.
What?
It's but I respect him, Diva. Like I respect what he does for those kids. Um, you know, it, like I don't want to see him. He's not entertaining. And SummerSlam, when I was watching SummerSlam, I even told myself the lumberjack match between Ambrose and Rollins is going to overshadow the main event, which it did. It was
What?
just
No. Every match was going to overshadow that match. Every
What?
single
The
match.
Brock Lesnar John Cena one?
Yes, every match would have. Me versus Levi would overshadow that match. It's like,
No,
my
but
goodness. It was a suplex, F5 pin. That's all it was. It wasted 15 minutes of my life that I'm never going to get back now.
probably because, well, one, Brock Lesnar is not conditioned to be in the WWE, or probably, that's probably one. To have like a 30-minute match like he used to be able to do.
He's too big. That's one thing. He's too big.
He's too big. But
He's
lumberjack match, the only thing the lumberjack match could be better than is another lumberjack match, because those matches are awful. Like,
Yes.
and like the thing about, like, I want to say about John Cena and Brock Lesnar, they're trying to find something to do while they're trying to build up Roman Reigns. But I don't think they're going to build up Roman Reigns until they're able to sell a T-shirt with Roman Reigns, and that's out of his character. So if you're like Roman Reigns, go out there and wear a T-shirt of yourself, like people are going to be like, oh, that's not the Roman Reigns we know. Just stop supporting him. They're waiting for Daniel Bryan to be back because they have plans and they don't know what to do after they plan it. Like they need somebody to be there week after week, like somebody who's spontaneous and like who can just say, all right, since that failed, we got to do something else. Like so many times WWE has like got people's hopes up. Like when John Cena not FU but attitude adjusted uh, the whole Wyatt family like 6 times. I
oh
thought,
yeah,
in my mind, I thought he turned heel because he's back at his ruthless aggression. Like that's how he was in ruthless aggression.
right.
F you and all that. It got my hopes up. And then next week, I'm happy to be John Cena because I'm a honest man who chops lumber and it's ridiculous. Like the same thing where again Kofi turned heel. Like you saw how Kofi and Randy Orton, how their feud was like really good. I enjoyed every one of Kofi and Randy Orton's matches. And then when Kofi and Big E Langston they had the tag team match, they had their their chemistry is great. I think that finisher is like messed up. I'm
What
a pretty
the big ending?
Yeah, where like he puts him on the knee, like he stops him in the chest, like that. I think that's brutal, and like it fits a heel character. But like, don't blame everything on John Cena. It's the WWE's fault that they don't know what to do with anything. It's like
It's creative. It's creative.
they're playing hot potato with like characters. Like, oh, is this guy gonna work? Nope. Okay, let's try Roman Reigns. Nope. Dean Ambrose. No. Seth Rollins. Oh, she's a joke. Like they don't. Seth Rollins is like I think he's an embarrassment. I think he's an embarrassment of the WWE, and he's the prime example of what the WWE is today.
I was
Leather
gonna,
chaps.
I was gonna say I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get a drink of water, but keep discussing this, and I'll get you guys feedback when I get back. So let's keep going about Cena for a minute.
All right.
Okay.
Well, Diva, I know this one point you will agree with me. Is like the reason why I like Dean Ambrose because he reminds me of Psycho Sid, and I love Psycho Sid. Like I'm a huge Sid fan.
Psycho Sid was garbage.
I love Psycho Sid.
Did you see the? You saw the Shockmaster promo, right?
Yeah.
That promo, like the whole promo, was atrocious. Like everybody except Ric Flair didn't know what they were doing. They're just like, oh, Sunday, he's gonna shock the world because he's another Shockmaster, and like that when Shockmaster fell, that explained like that explained that whole promo in like 3 seconds. Like it was just you tried to break through the wall and you fell. Like it was just like
Yeah.
it's all in shambles. But I don't think anybody now other than John Cena is comparable to The Rock or Stone Cold or Hulk Hogan. Like, there was nobody in the WWE you can actually mess with John Cena. And I think that's a big problem. And it's like, I love John Cena. I'm like a huge John Cena fan, but
Talent wise, Orton, but Orton talks too much weed. He's not going to let that happen.
Excuse me, guys, but I'm back. What did you guys focus on during?
Shockmaster.
Oh God, are you? I present to you the Shockmaster. Falls through the wall and then tries to grab the Stormtrooper helmet. Oh man.
The glittery Stormtrooper helmet. But yeah, again, the WWE doesn't know what they're doing. That's all I gotta say about it.
Yeah, creative really needs to like. They need to. Here's what they can do. They can either give the fans what they want, like Daniel Bryan. I don't even see how Daniel Bryan got over with the fans. Like, did it start with Team Hell No or something? Because I'm lost to where he became so like loved by the fans.
I'll tell you where it came in. The repeated screwing by the authority.
Yeah.
And him
That's
not
probably
getting
it.
that's it.
That's where it was at.
Well,
Because that's how people are treated by their bosses every day, apparently. So,
Yeah.
like, this is the guy we gotta be behind, and it's a small troll man.
The gardener.
I remember when they called him Goatface and everything. That was pretty entertaining. But anything you want to touch on that before moving on, panel?
Um, okay. I'm not gonna I'm gonna put personal opinion on there. I'm gonna go with like Daniel Bryan and Cena's wives. Okay, I know Brie Bella and Nikki Bella are twin, but why does Nikki look so much more better than Brie? It's like Brie's gonna crack or something.
Nikki's had. I was gonna say Nikki. You can tell which one is Nikki based on you looking at the breast area.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
I was gonna say.
I mean, Daniel has Brie. I mean, Brian Danielson has Brie Danielson on like some vegan diet. That's why she looks like.
But yeah, and I wanted to make a point that before moving on, I wanted to make a point that Bruce Blitz uses the YouTube channel that channel that influenced me to make these reviews. He actually touched down on something which said when you're involved with anything around John Cena, expect to be like, put in a gimmick or a storyline where you're going to be the victim or something. Like look at look at Brie Bella. Her husband, they were on Total Divas, and they had Daniel Bryan and John Cena cutting wood like lumberjacks. And the thing was, like, they're hanging around. You got two of the biggest faces in the company, like, hanging together, and their girlfriend slash wife,
You know the whole the two biggest faces in the company when they had that rivalry last SummerSlam. Reminds me of the whole Click incident. Whenever the Outsiders were going to leave WWE and then they had a little steel cage match, and then they all like get a group hug at the end of the match.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. Hey, and touch on that real quick. Do you know that the only person that got punished was Triple H?
Who got punished?
Triple H. He's the only person that got punished for that.
Well, I guess you could say he deserved it. I mean,
how Kevin Nash left for WCW? Shawn Michaels was the WWF champion at that point. And who cares about Scott Weidman?
Devo, you want to say anything before we move on?
Back on the point where if you're faced against John Cena and like if you get steamrolled, that's your career. I'm guessing what they're trying to do is if you face John Cena and you get destroyed and the crowd is still behind you, then you're going to be the guy who's going to be feuding with John Cena. I'm guessing that's what they're going to look at because you're the only guy in the company who can actually come back and be the one who's better than John Cena.
Yeah. And then moving on, since I didn't get to pick up everything raw, I'm looking at WrestleView.com to get the results and the matches in succession. After that, we get a Sheamus versus Seth Rollins match. I don't know if you guys noticed, but Sheamus is being put in a storyline with Cesaro, and me and Jamil made a point in our last video. A lot of the U.S. Championship is being handed to a lot of Europeans, which tells me I think it's time to bring back the European title belt. You feel me?
I think it's slowly turning to the point where they're just going to try to unify the Intercontinental and the U.S., where it's just going to be the Intercontinental title. They're just trying to get to that point.
I was going to say, if you haven't realized, the big gold belt, which was the World Heavyweight belt, it was owned by NWA, and funny how they dropped the NWA title, but not their title. So something tells me sooner or later the U.S. title, like you said, Devo, will be dropped because it's WCW, NWA, and it's not WWE. So I can see them, like you said, doing a unification match for those two belts, naming it the Intercontinental Championship. So yeah, it's sad to see them degrading WCW when they bought WCW. And honestly, you ask me, compared how the NWO had WCW running at the top for 84 weeks in a row or something.
Yeah.
That was it's because the NWO, they like WCW, they were entertaining. They knew what they were doing. But I gotta admit, I totally agree with you on that one, Devo. They're gonna disband the U.S. title. And moving on, Jamil, can you take over?
The reason why WCW got bought out because NWO was WCW. It was Goldberg. That was it.
Staying for like 2 weeks.
Yes, and staying with Tina, and there was just no other talent, no other face, just until Bret Hart when he got kicked off.
Okay, I'm back, panel.
I didn't even know you left. But the thing about WCW when they were big, like the NWO was like again for the 84 weeks, like for the 84 weeks that WCW held the ratings was like it's only because like I guess that was before the Attitude Era happened, and that slowly made McMahon realize like the people don't want to see eat your vitamins, drink your milk. They don't want to see that anymore, and that's why he killed the Blue Blazer. But no, but that's
that's another podcast right there.
But yeah, I don't think like Chris Jericho saw it like this. He saw WCW as like this black and white world of the Wizard of Oz. Like how at the beginning of the movie it's just black and white, and then when you go into Oz, which is the WWE, it's all colorful and there's so much more opportunity. Like
right.
Unless you were a part of NWO, then you weren't anybody in the WCW.
I was going to say, eventually it got to that point where everyone in WCW pretty much joined the NWO. I remember not Rick Steiner, Scott Steiner turned on his brother to join the NWO. I remember Lex Luger joining the NWO when he attacked Roddy Piper or somebody. I remember I think it was Goldberg. Like, do you want to talk about main names in WCW?
Well, it was Goldberg, Eddie Guerrero, Rey Mysterio that weren't in NWO. Everyone. Well,
I was going to say, once the NWO came to be this famous thing, even Dennis Rodman joined the NWO, if you guys remember that. And I was going to say the NWO was so popular that they created so many spin-offs. I remember the LWO, the BWO, especially the BWO, the Blue World Order.
I thought BWO was WWE.
No, that was ECW.
Oh, okay.
The Blue Meanie, Steven Richards, and somebody else. But yeah, like you said, Devo, there were a lot more opportunities in WWE simply because the NWO didn't run everything. Even Eric Bischoff, who was the general manager of WCW Nitro, joined NWO.
But the reason, Jericho, the reason why he left wasn't just because WCW was so black and white. It was because that they wouldn't let him fight Goldberg.
Say again, Jamal. They wouldn't allow what?
They wouldn't let him fight Goldberg. They didn't want him. They didn't want Jericho to end Goldberg's streak. They wanted Kevin Nash to do it. That's why they had the whole feud with Goldberg versus the Wolfpack.
I was say, speaking of Jericho, you have his profile picture. That's your profile picture, but I didn't know that he wanted to do that. I'm shocked. The man of 1,004 holds wanted to beat the undefeated man.
Yeah. I mean, everybody wanted his streak. Cause that would, if you beat the undefeated streak, then you're gonna probably be the next guy in WCW.
I was gonna say, if you guys don't mind, you guys want to hear a spoiler?
Go ahead.
Jamil, I just want to confirm with Jamil. Jamil, you want to hear a spoiler?
Yeah.
You see how they're building Roman Reigns up as the top guy right now, right?
No,
Yeah.
I don't see that at all.
Uh,
But keep going.
okay, but yeah, right now, you know, he's being pushed, and I was gonna say, you see how Brock Lesnar finished the Undertaker streak? Like he's the one that beat the one in 21 and one, but Paul Heyman's the one behind the one that beat the 21 and one. I was gonna say, what better person to, you know, beat at
One.
Re- at, Re-
21.
at WrestleMania? At WrestleMania other than the one that beat the one. So I can see right now that I'm just going to make a prediction. Roman Reigns is going to win the Royal Rumble since we're only 4 months away. Roman Reigns will win the Royal Rumble. He'll go on to WrestleMania. He'll beat Brock Lesnar for the title, and that will be his starting point as the face of the WWE.
I'm
That
gonna counter. I'm gonna counter your prediction with my own prediction. I see. Uh, I see John Cena. I see John Cena beating uh, Roman Reigns or Brock Lesnar at Night of Champions. After that, I see Roman Reigns almost winning the Royal Rumble, and then I think you know how a couple or 2003 Royal Rumble, Goldberg came in and he messed with or not Goldberg, but Brock Lesnar came in and messed with Goldberg's Royal Rumble.
uh-huh.
That's gonna happen to Roman Reigns with with Brock Lesnar. They're gonna have a match at WrestleMania, but it's not gonna be the WWE champion versus Roman Reigns. It's gonna be just Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar.
You think
And
so?
yeah, and they're gonna try to see. They're gonna push it, see how far he goes after that. And like like I said before, the WWE will not push Roman Reigns all the way until they can find a way to properly merchandise from him. Because that's why John Cena has a new shirt every couple weeks. Because that's six. They're always able to make money off of John Cena. That's why he's the face of the company. They're
Right.
always able to make money from him.
Right,
Remember,
merchandise wise, because the kids love them and the women love them. You know.
and,
And you know
and
something else? Another surprise right now is that they're still selling CM Punk merchandise.
They're selling what?
yeah, Punk merchandise.
Yeah. And
They still
yeah, I was gonna say I'm gonna get off track with Cesaro and I mean yeah, Seth Rollins versus Sheamus. I didn't really tease too much of this match, but you know, like I said in the previous video, um, it's like focusing on the person that you're trying to be. Like Sheamus kept on turning his head to Cesaro, you know, looking at him like you want this belt, you gotta face me. Um, but yeah, um, let's see who won here. Um,
I got a picture for it.
Seth Rollins won over and curb stomp with Sheamus, and I think Cesaro after the match went in, neutralized her, and stood over him with the U.S. title. You know, signaling that he might.
Can I just say something right now?
Yeah.
Stomp by Seth Rollins is the worst move ever. It's like so uncreative. Like, all right, this is what you're going to be known for generations. This is what people are going to remember you by. What is your move? Well, I'm just going to run and step on his head. Um, okay. Like, is there going to be like any more to it, or maybe sometimes I put like cinder blocks on the ground and like do that. But I mean, other than that, no, that's basically it. Like. Now he tried to do the Randy Orton punt, basically, and like
Yeah.
Randy Orton's the only guy who can do that punt.
He's mini Randy.
Yeah,
um, but yeah. Yeah, I think I can see Cesaro because Cesaro actually had the title back in like late 2000 or like he had in 2012 or something with Oksana as his manager or whatever. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Cesaro claiming another U.S. title under his belt. So yeah, anything else, panel? Before moving on,
is he still a Paul Heyman guy?
is
no.
he what?
Is Cesaro's not a Paul Heyman guy anymore?
No, he became a what was it? Yeah, he became a Paul Heyman guy after WrestleMania after he won that Battle Royal, and now he's by himself. I was gonna say they had a good opportunity when he was the King of Swing with Paul Heyman simply because he was over even as a tween. I looked at him as a tweener, not a heel. because he got over with some of the fans, not over with some of them. So, you know, I can see Cesaro winning though on at Night of Champions. By the way, when is Night of Champions?
Sunday.
21st.
21st. Okay.
I thought it was tomorrow.
No.
Let me check. It will
With a
take.
cheap price of $9.99. You can watch
Oh,
Night of Champions and every other pay-per-view by WWE.
I was going to say the network. Like I said previously and again in the previous video, the network plugs are killing the promos. You're going to look back 10 years from now, and you're going to say that promo for the network just killed it. Like somebody like Bruce Blitz says, advertising commercials. That's what commercials are for. You're advertising your product in a commercial. And right now, I like to say, guys, that we are 53 minutes in, which is good. We're getting over an hour, unlike the previous video. So just keep putting our input on certain things. We'll keep going from there.
We're promoting the network. You know, just say we just promoted the network. We should
Say again, Jamal.
we should get paid. We just promoted the network.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, big time. Well, we should get paid $9.99. And next up is actually one of my favorites from Monday because don't watch NXT. I don't have the network. I don't feel like getting on my computer on Tuesday or Thursday. I don't watch Superstars. But next was actually entertaining, as Jamil told me in school that day. It was NXT Takeover night, which is not fairly. It was very interesting to see young talent showing off what they have. And let me just say, Sami Zayn, I think he might be my new favorite because
Sami Zayn?
Yeah, Sami Zayn, El Generico.
I don't know how. Adam Neville?
Adrian
When he
Neville.
got tagged in, like the crowd was just like, "Who's this dude?" When he got tagged in, and then when he showed him like what he could do, like he got like the audience behind him by the end of the match, and I think there's somewhere you need to respect that because it's weird when you come to the match and it's sort of bombing, and then you make the match. Like Adam Neville made the match. Like it wouldn't have been. I don't think it would have been as entertaining. Like I saw a match a couple months ago between Adam Neville and Tyson Kidd. Tyson Kidd's very athletic. WWE is not using Tyson Kidd like they should.
Um,
He's really a springboard type of guy, and they're using him as like a technical type of wrestler. But he needs to be a springboard guy. Adam
yeah.
Neville, I think, is the future of the company.
Let me not counter. Let me actually go over what I said. Not Sami Zayn. Sorry, viewer. That one viewer, and sorry, future viewers, whoever is watching this. Sorry, I got my people mixed up. Sami Zayn was not the one who did a corkscrew splash off the top rope. It was actually Adrian Neville who did the standing moonsault
Okay.
and corkscrew. Yeah, he did the corkscrew and the standing moonsault. I was actually surprised at moves like that. But yeah, that match was entertaining. It was Adrian Neville and Sami Zayn versus Titan Kid and Tyler Breeze. Tyler Breeze, let me just say his gimmick, it reminds me of Fandango simply because, he had just, I'm a dancer, I'm a pretty boy, and he takes selfies a lot, so it's
he's like more of Dolph Ziggler at the beginning of his career.
But yeah, that's something. Anything you want to say, Jamil?
Nope.
Moving on to is anyone else? Here, I'll let one of you guys lead on to the next.
I do want to say, that was definitely the best match of the night. Nothing topped it.
Oh yeah, big time.
They're hungry and they need to prove themselves, and they were on the biggest stage in wrestling, so they just went all out. And I'm gonna give them my hand. They have better matches than Raw and SmackDown in mine.
Yeah, big time.
Every NXT match is worthy to be a WWE pay-per-view match, only because these people are hungry and they need to prove themselves. Like the tag team matches with Sin Cara and the other guy, I don't know his name, but he's like the Ultimate Dragon too. But their tag team chemistry is on point, and it's like the NXT fans are like understanding the luchador type of wrestling because if you go into NXT, they have the type of athletes that Sin Cara and the other guy can actually wrestle because they're athletic enough to do like moonsaults and stuff.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Before we go on to the next segment, I want to bring up a topic that's been a controversy in the sports entertainment industry since 2001, the emergence of TNA. AJ
Jamal,
Styles.
you're gonna have to speak up, buddy.
Yeah, sound like a pedophile.
All right, yeah.
But like you were saying, Jamil.
Yeah, so like it's a controversy in sports entertainment for I don't know, in the last decade and a half. Will be AJ Styles versus John Cena dream match. The way I see it is AJ Styles so much talent, so much talent. If that match ever happened, he would have to carry the match. He would have no choice but to carry the match. So I just want to get you guys.
That's like another Undertaker versus Sting match, like where they might not be good at their skill isn't on the mic because in no way, shape, or form is AJ Styles good on the mic, but like he's probably one of the better wrestlers in the business right now, and or he was, but I actually think the dream match right now is Sting versus Undertaker. That would be a great match.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing a lot. I was gonna say too, another thing. Oh yeah, I agree with you guys' points. Jamil, does anyone want to carry us on into the next segment? It's Jerry Springer.
Oh my God!
Jerry Springer is hosting an intervention of sorts between Nikki Bella and Brie Bella.
I was gonna say this was this. I was gonna say I think they brought Jerry Springer in simply because you guys know Michael Sam, correct? The NFL player. Um, he was originally supposed to be the host of Raw tonight, but being as that he got drafted to the Dallas Cowboys, I guess they had to find somebody. And Jerry Springer seemed like had to be the right guy because this whole thing between the Bellatons does kind of remind you of a like Jerry Springer show, like something something cheated a wife, blah blah blah. Sisters upset at each other. So yeah, this whole thing it was kind of funny to watch because Jerry. I don't know how to say it, but Jerry he looked like he was selling it. It was funny how he sold it because he like everywhere they rolled, he had to roll too. Like so it was really funny to see like him rolling around everywhere.
God awful. I'm like they're just like pulling stuff out their ass. It's like uh Nikki Bella, Family Feud. What else? What else? I'm surprised they didn't try to bring out Steve Wilkos or Maury. Like
I was gonna,
that
I was
all
gonna,
could have been worse.
I was gonna say if they brought out Maury, they had to have like a pregnant storyline or something. In the case of John Cena Jr., Bree, you are not, or Nick, yeah, Nikki, you are not the mother, or John Cena's not the father. It's the opposite. You know what I mean? Being brain fart for a second, but yeah, John Cena's not the father of Nikki's child or something. She cheated on him.
It's Brian's child.
But yeah, Jerry Springer, he apparently he injured his. I'm reading it. I think it's his pelvis or something.
Old brittle man.
It's an old people injury.
Yeah, yeah, that was it. But as he was being put on a stretcher and going out, he put a thumbs up signs to the fans, letting them know like he'll be fine and stuff. But yeah, they had the Bella's mother, father, and brother all like talk about what's going on. And let me just say, the parents absolutely no sold the whole storyline. It's like when you at least put some emotion to it. Like they sound like John Cena when they're speaking, like monotone. They're not putting no enthusiasm into their voice or anything. Like at least act like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that
Nikki,
segment.
Nikki
Good.
Bella seems like she's like reading lines. I am tired of my sister Brie getting all the attention. And she's like, Brie Bella has never been the Divas champion. Excuse me. She's never been the Divas champion, so I don't see how in the world she is like getting over. How nobody is
You could be
overshining anybody uh, in the Divas
if it.
in that circle because the only two people who are good are AJ. Or only three people are good: AJ, Natalia, and Paige. Like
I was gonna
Naomi's actually really good too. I think Naomi is one of the better divas too.
I was gonna tell you, excuse me, Nikki Bella. I think the reason why I said it before, like once you're involved with John Cena, like expect something to happen, like you're going to be pushed to the top or you're going to be buried or something. Like I believe she's John Cena's girlfriend still. They haven't gotten married.
No,
Uh, so yeah, I can see that's how she got this push out of like nowhere because she's involved with Cena, you know. So
I wouldn't call it a push at all because it's just a shitty storyline. It really is just awful.
um, anything want to add on before moving on, gentlemen?
No, sir.
Um, and next we get Los Matadores versus the team of Goldust and Stardust, aka Gold Star. I don't see why they just call them that. Um, but yeah, Los Matadores, you haven't seen them in a while.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, you know, Primo and Epico, that's who they are. And I'm reading that they had a lockup. Uh, Stardust pulled Diego off the apron, distracting Fernando, and Goldust attacked Fernando from behind and did Stardust did the Dark Matter STO. It was a versus FTO for the win. And let me just say, Goldust's final cut was absolutely amazing. It wasn't this week. I think it was the previous week. But you guys saw where he just lifted him up, twisted him, and while he was like horizontal, and just like slammed him to the ground. That was amazing to see that. Like my dad was like, "Ooh," when he saw that. You know, like it's an interesting little thing to end the match. But yeah, Goldust and Stardust, you can see like they're being pushed to win the title soon. And you know, with Goldust, like, you know, their dad didn't work for WWE. He worked for NWA, WCW. But you
Yeah,
can see that they care enough, or they worked hard enough to be paid to get the tag team titles. You feel me?
definitely, definitely.
But
Goldust, especially, he's been at it for like since he was like 18.
yeah, I was going to say I remember seeing Goldust in WCW as just his as
Dustin.
Dustin. Yes,
That's
Dustin
right.
Rhodes. Yeah, like, being from the '90s too. I'm kind of sad that I didn't get to watch Nitro, but I can watch Nitro now, I guess, like on YouTube or the net. If I get the network for only $9.99, I can watch what they give me. And it's kind of sad how they're making money off of WCW because right now they know their product is stale and it's the same old, stuff. I like, you bought the company out, and now you're using them. You're crapping on them pretty much because
Yeah.
you don't have a good standing with your fans. You know that it has to be sad for them. Anything you guys
Um,
add?
I think the thing about them, they're building them up so they have somebody relevant enough to fight the Usos. Because the Usos are definitely the best tag team in the business, I think. I don't think any tag, other than Team 3D, there's like no team that's better than them right now.
What?
Because they're like the perfect Samoan mix of big, athletic, and just entertaining. They're fun to watch. I think they're the funnest, two of the funnest people to watch. Their entrance is the best. Like their whole, from the time they get out, they step out, from the time they go back inside the locker room, they're like the most entertaining people to watch. So I think at least they're gonna have the Stardust or Star Gold or Gold Star, whatever.
Yeah, Gold Star, Gold Star.
They're gonna have them trading titles between the Usos. So they're just trying to revive the tag team division, and they need to get more than two tag teams to do that.
I was gonna say another thing. Are you speaking, Jamil?
I was gonna say it's just like TNA has a really good tag team division. I
Yeah,
mean, there's Team 3D, there's the Hardys, there's the Wolves. There's the new tag team with MVP and Kenny King. Lastly, that's more of a faction, but whatever. Um, yeah, they have a really good tag team division. Oh yeah, and then there's Bobby Roode and Eric Young. They
yeah.
come out with tag team sometimes too.
I was gonna say another thing too about the Usos. Let me just say those guys have been in WWE since like 2007. They paid their due. They worked hard enough. And let me just say I'm glad they got the belt. I'm glad that they
Yep,
finally, got what they worked so hard for. But
that was happening.
when the Wyatt family kept on getting the opportunity after opportunity after opportunity to capture the gold, I got frustrated so much.
They
I
have
got
no one else, no other tag team there.
right. I got so frustrated
As far as
at the Wyatt family losing constantly. I was like, when the Wyatt family were gonna get the belt? They paid their. I mean, it's only been a year or so, but they paid their due. I think it's time they deserved their belt, and they
Yeah.
kept on losing. And now, like Devo said earlier, the Wyatt WWE Creative, they're just tossing the Wyatt family. It's like hot potato.
Yeah.
What can we do with them? So
The thing about the Wyatts, I don't think any of them will look good in gold except Bray as like WWE champion. Like I think how WWE should attack the Wyatts was, all right, people are just gonna start joining the Wyatts and they're just gonna basically become the next Nexus or the next. Do you remember the WWE versus the Alliance storyline?
yeah,
yeah,
I think that they should have aimed at it sort of like that, where just people like not just any regular people, it's just like everybody who's like huge, like not like bulky, and like these big, tall, like guys like that, like Big Show, Mark Henry. Mark Henry, I think would be perfect in the White family. Like that would like those people would have added some spin to it, to where you really have to look out for them. But like, it's just at the point where WWE, like you said, is just playing hot potato with them, and they don't know what to do with them.
right.
and can I say something before I alter the talk a little bit here?
But
I think CM Punk, the way he complained and stuff, I think he had the right to. From starting with ODW to go to ROH, to go into developmental with WWE, to go to ECW. He had the right to do what he did.
yeah,
He paid way Brian Danielson's of the world. People
Your
came
your your mic is
you're
lagging a little
crapping
bit,
out,
Jamel.
buddy.
better than now.
Yeah, you're good.
All right, it's like the people like the Brian Danielsons. I say his full name. The Brian Danielsons.
Hmm.
The RVDs and stuff like that. I think CM Punk has the right to complain and demand what he is deserved. Ultimately, what he deserves.
Yeah,
I don't like when people fault CM Punk for complaining and demanding things because like he worked hard enough. I mean, the man is 38 years old.
but
He just
it's,
got his
at,
spotlight like a couple years ago.
it's to the point to where you stop complaining. You were the longest reigning WWE champion in the past 25 years, and you've done nothing with it really. You like if you lose it and then you complain that you're not in the main eventer anymore, complain about the part timers, that's your fault. It's like it's you can't keep complaining and it's gonna be to a point where if CM Punk would have kept wrestling, it would have been to the point where he would probably want to be a part timer someday, and like he would be a hypocrite basically because he wouldn't be able to do the full 300-day schedule that the WWE demands for a full timer.
I mean, and then there's like Batista.
Go ahead, Jamel.
Like I was saying, like Batista, he comes back, and a week later wins the World Cup. I would complain too.
Um, you guys good on that whole thing, or you ready to move on?
I'm ready to move on.
Okay. And so next we get, I believe, oh no, wait, it's Titus O'Neil in with Heath Slater in his corner versus Adam Rose and Bunny.
Yeah,
Now let me just say before moving on to this match, I dig Adam Rose's gimmick. In well, I dug Adam Rose's gimmick until I found out what the term rosebud means. And if you don't know what the
vagina.
term, no,
If you don't
if
know
you,
Rose, watch SNK.
yeah, I was gonna say, I'm not against no one really at all. I don't care what you are, what your sexual orientation is, your race is, anything. I just want to say a rosebud, going Urban Dictionary, is a term for a fisted anus. So when he says don't be a lemon, be a rosebud, he's saying be a. Let me just say I just stopped liking the gimmick after I found out. So in the bunny, I heard rumors that I heard the rumor that the bunny might be Shawn Michaels.
I was gonna say that.
I heard it was Zack Ryder.
That's I was gonna say WWE is putting out what they want you to hear. I was gonna say I just looked it up on WrestleZone and Bleacher Report. They said that the Super Kick gave it away that it might be Shawn Michaels inside the bunny as a part timer. So
That's weird because like out of everything Shawn Michaels can get, I'm gonna be the bunny for this guy who doesn't really matter. I'm gonna be a bunny.
That sweet chin, that super kick even on Monday. A lot like Shawn Michaels super kick.
I'll say go back and watch the most underrated match in WWE history, as said by WWE Magazine. One of those issues, Shawn Michaels versus Shelton Benjamin. Look at that kick.
Yeah.
Yeah, the road. I watched that match.
I was gonna say that was one of the best.
That's the first Raw I ever watched, and that's probably that super kick is probably what got me into wrestling.
I was gonna say I don't even remember the first time I watched Raw. All I remember is I remember like seeing who Kane was. I remember when he took that mask off, I just turned Raw off every time I saw him. I didn't watch it. I was like, what the hell is that? But
Watch was I remember it was the Undertaker versus Kane in the Inferno match. Vader came out, and then Kane burned his arm when Undertaker burned Kane. I remember that. That's the first match I ever watched.
Yeah, let me just another thing about Titus O'Neil, Heath Slater. Let me just say right now, Drew. Hey, Jamil, can you do how you say Drew?
Huh?
Like say Drew McIntyre, like how you said it before. Like my name is, and like say it.
My name is Drew McIntyre.
And I'm the chosen one, as Vince deemed him.
One.
I was gonna say, being deemed the chosen one apparently means winning the Intercontinental Championship on your first year in WWE, and then being demoted to a rock star.
That's because he was like late to like 3 events in a row, and Vince was just like, I'm done with you, dude.
He was late to his match.
And I was gonna say, thing about Titus O'Neil, when Darren Young came out as gay, I knew that from that point on they were going to be a face tag team, and eventually they were going to break up, like every tag team does eventually. And since then, has he been released? Does anybody know?
Who, Darren Young?
Yeah, Darren.
Yeah, he's done. I haven't seen him since. I don't even know. I haven't seen him.
Right. And Titus O'Neil, I like the little thing he does, like hoorah, hoorah, hoorah. I like that. And I was going to say that Titus O'Neil. Let me just say this: I don't know what it is with Vince and African superstar entertainers, but like he doesn't seem to push them to win the WWE belt. Like the last WWE champion that was black that I remember having.
Don't say The Rock.
I was gonna say The Rock, but since he's like half, like Mark Henry, he won the big gold belt, which is the NWA, World Heavyweight Championship. It's not a WWE belt. You ever realize that Vince never lets an African hold on?
It's not that there's never really been an African or a black guy who's ever been prominent in the WWE other than The Rock. Like, who do you ever like other than The Rock? Who was a black guy you thought was worthy of being pushed to be WWE champion?
Booker T was being pushed to be the WWE champion.
Booker T. That's actually good. You got me right there. Booker T deserved, because he came out of WCW as the greatest WCW competitor ever. And
Right.
Like, he like just got shut down.
I was going to say
actual streets. Like, he deserved it so much.
I was going to say the Harlem Heat. This man started out in a tag team with his brother Stevie Ray, or yeah. And the Harlem Heat, they were the tag team champions. Then they parted ways. Booker T became the five-time WCW champion. And then when WCW crumbled and the Alliance storyline began, Booker T was being pushed as the face of WCW, while The Rock was being pushed as the face of WWE. And eventually Booker T had to drop the big gold belt to The Rock. No shocker there, I mean, go with the company that's winning, plus go with the top guy in the business. And by that time, WCW was already purchased by Vince McMahon, despite, kayfabe storyline, Shane McMahon owned it. And the thing is, Booker T versus Triple H at WrestleMania 19. I would have loved to see Booker T go over as the world. I mean, as not as world, as a WWE champion, because right there, you know, you could have the second or third, African American WWE champion, but I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is with Vince and African American, wrestlers with the belt, the major title, not a minor title like the Intercontinental Championship.
Yeah, I think the only other guy who's ever came close to it, and it was Kofi Kingston, but he's actually African. Kofi Kingston,
Like legit.
yeah, like legit African. And then R-Truth, he came close to it sorta, because he was in that Elimination Chamber match with
Oh,
yeah,
the Smoking Hill turn. I was gonna say, hey, that's another man that has paid his due in that business. K Quick.
okay, cool. No, I don't think R-Truth deserves it.
I was gonna. I mean, he was.
Because Little Jimmy's not really a character. Little Jimmy. I don't think that's like a character you should be proud of. I think he was just like he became like a just
Joke.
like a stepping stone. Like if you beat R-Truth, he might be in contention for the world or not world heavyweight, but the United States Championship. That's it.
Yeah. I was gonna mention too. He was Road Dogg's little tag team partner or whatever, and I was gonna say when he turned heel, that was very entertaining to watch. That was too hilarious. But all I gotta say about the Adam Rose and Titus O'Neil match is like what are they going to do with Adam Rose? Because he's pretty much like Bo Dallas was when he first started out, the undefeated streak. That's what Adam Rose is. This dude only does like a certain number of things. He's like the new Santino Marella kind of, without like minus the comedy, you know.
Minus.
He's gonna be the next uh, Damien Sandow. He's just gonna be another comedy bit. I
You
think.
think?
Yeah. Sadly, I mean, I'm not gonna even say sadly because I don't really see anything special with him either. There's nothing that like when you think about him, Rose, that's like you like, oh man, this thing about him is special because there's like, because this finishing move, like I don't know, when he first did it, I thought like he got reversed. You know what I mean? Like I thought somebody reversed his move, and like and
Smash, you
he just like botched it or something. It's like just bad. Like I don't think see anything special about him.
Okay, can I ask you a question? Is it just me, or Dean Ambrose, and Kurt Apple all have the same finisher?
Yeah,
Say again. Who all has the same finisher?
Dean Ambrose, Kurt Axel, they all have the same finisher.
yeah, it's really similar. There's somebody in NXT who has um a similar finisher too. I think it's either like I think it's what's his name? Tyler Breeze has a finisher.
I was gonna say, aren't they all face busters?
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, I'm curious to see where they go with Adam Rose's like whole character and like storyline because eventually this bunny is going to be involved in the storyline. So see where they take off. Someone want to lead us into the main event of Monday Night Raw?
I got it. The main event, or the televised main event of WWE Monday Night Raw of September 8th was Randy Orton versus Roman Reigns steel cage match, the second one of the night.
Oh yeah, and thank you for that introduction. Let me just say this: I wasn't up to see this match. I was in deep sleep. I always fall asleep early on Mondays because it's the weekend just got over. But all I remember from seeing the flashbacks on SmackDown was those two going at it, and Randy Orton, the Authority, Uncle Kane. Jamil, why do you call Kane Uncle Kane?
Because that's what he is. Like he's the rescuer. It's like his nephew's in trouble. He has to come rescue him. Like the money in the bank. It's like Dean Ambrose should have won. He's at the top of the ladder. Uncle Kane has to come and push top of the ladder. That's all.
Yeah, I can see why.
Match with red blocks.
Yeah, I was going to say, all I remember seeing from this match during the flashback was Uncle Kane, the Authority coming out, then all those equipment managers coming down, learn the steel cage. That was pretty funny to see that all happening. And in the midst of it, I know I keep talking about this, but Seth Rollins was trying to get into the ring again, and he actually like stopped because the cage was right there. They stopped it from moving. Then he like flung himself off the apron, and then they started lowering again. I was like, he was about to get killed by that cage if he didn't get out the way. So you know, but yeah, after that, Randy Orton and Reigns were trapped in the cage with the Authority in there. Eventually, they crawled over. Kane chokeslammed them. Orton got a steel chair in there, started beating him with it and all that. So, once again, typical build up for pay per view and all that. So,
And
you guys want to take over?
Roman
I
Reigns.
don't. This is like why I don't see Roman Reigns becoming the champion anytime soon, because they're just stalling. They're stalling to figure out what they did with the Wyatts. They're stalling to figure out what to do. Like, I don't know if it's probably Daniel Bryan getting injured that like messed everything up for the Authority storyline, but like ever since that happened, like everything has just like been a toss up. Like, okay, let's see if Roman Reigns versus Seth or Randy Orton. Let's see if it works for the 8th time in a row. Like, they wrestled every week for like the past 2 months. It's just become repetitive. They're good matches, but I mean, like, at a certain point, you just want to be like, all right, can I see something new?
Exactly. It's like
That's how I feel about it.
I just don't like Seth Rollins versus the Shield versus the rest of the Shield. I don't like it. I think when
Yep.
they broke up at the end of the Shield, okay, the Shield. Look, if you're not going to keep the Shield gimmick, the Shield just is
Anybody?
it's like man, have to make their
Levi?
own telling
Yeah,
off each other.
yeah, I'm still here. I'm just having a little bit of trouble hearing Jamil. I was going to say, Jamil. Jamil. I know you're doing it off your phone, but I mean, I guess you could keep doing it, but I think it'd be better quality off the laptop for our next video.
Alright.
Yeah, I agree with you guys. I was going to say too another thing. Let me just say right now, Roman Reigns, he has moves of doom that he's using. I'll name the first one: the spear, the Superman punch, the
Kick.
drop kick on the apron, the hair flip, and then the last one. I'm trying to think the last one is they're building him up to be the new
Spear?
face. I already named Spear.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I mean Roman Reigns, if he can get better on the mic and if he can use more moves while in the ring, he can get over more. Because some people have already given up on him because they can see that he's about to be like John Cena, except he's new.
Yeah.
All I gotta say about Raw, even though I wasn't up, I'm not gonna give it a bad review. I'll say 6.5 out of 10. But the best match of the
A little bit high. I'll say 7.
best match of the night, hands down, goes to Adrian Neville and Sami Zayn against Tyler Breeze and Tyson Kidd.
Definitely. The case where people who are hungry outshow the people who have what they want already. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I was gonna go ahead, Jamil.
What else does he have to do? That's what I feel. What does he have? What else does he have to do?
Get fed to Stina.
See if he gets better himself. But what? Okay, like, what's he gonna do? What? To hug fat girls and kiss babies? That's all that's left.
I was gonna say he can start kissing little boys. Then that'd be a problem. So Penn State incident.
Yeah.
Um,
Raw.
yeah. Well, that's the review for Raw. You guys want to finish off by plugging into your social media or anything?
I personally, I have a YouTube channel. We haven't been on it in a couple months, but it's there. I did a couple gameplays on there. Other than that, I don't really have anything to plug other than the Obama Eagles marching band.
Oh
Uh,
yeah. I was gonna say we
yeah,
can plug our school and everything. Um,
yeah. Um,
Oh,
before we end this, do you guys see any like possible storylines, like anywhere the WWE is gonna go within the next couple weeks from this?
let Jamil go first. I'm trying to think of one. Possible storylines. Hmm.
Yeah.
I have a
Like the only thing I see like within the next week, or hopefully like the next month, they're probably gonna reveal who's the bunny, which I'm guessing is gonna be Zack Ryder. Uh, um,
I have a storyline too.
yeah. Again, I
I
don't
have
like. It's just like the WWE's like they're unpredictable, but not in a good way. They're not. They're unpredictable. They're not spontaneous, and it's not unpredictability in any type of good way. It's just like a toss up every week.
Um,
one storyline I have. The Night of Champions. I'm just going to beat Cena, but Cena's going to put up a better fight this time. And then Uncle Kane and Orton are going to come out and attack Lesnar, and the story's going to double cross Lesnar, and Seth Rollins is going to cash in. That's what I think.
mm, mm. I like the sound of that.
I think Triple H still has some bad feelings against Lesnar for breaking Shawn Michaels' arm and breaking his arm twice. I feel like
Yeah,
he's got.
I could see him saying something like that too. Any possible storylines? Yeah, you guys nailed them. I say any possible storyline coming out of this Randy Orton and Chris Jericho thing, because Randy, I believe he lost to Reigns at the last review again. If there's a feud between these two, I mean, it's not going to be for a title, I know that, but a feud between those two probably reestablish Orton, because all know Jericho will probably be torn soon with Fozzy anyway. It'll reestablish Orton as a force to be reckoned with. You feel me?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if Chris can put Randy Orton over as a legit heel again, I feel like Orton can be back on track, be back in the title spot or so. But
That's a good point. That's a good point. I can see, I can see Chris Jericho going up against the Authority. I think that's very appropriate. And that's in his character. Um, I think the best move for Randy Orton would just be to get out the Authority. That'd be the best move for him.
I was gonna say he needs to be. I don't know. Have you guys noticed that he's teasing like the Legend Killer gimmick a little bit more?
Yeah, that's what I
He,
was thinking.
like he like when Flair came back, he said, if you stay out of my way, or if you keep going in my way, I might just be the Legend Killer or something. Like if something tells me I can see him coming back to the Legend Killer gimmick where he starts spitting in the Legends' faces, he starts beating them up, ending their career, ending their like legit career, like they can't wrestle no more. So like he keeps on teasing that like gimmick. Like I love to see that gimmick in too because it was hilarious. I remember seeing it back in '04, Mick Foley and him at Backlash 2004. That was an interesting match.
That match was brutal.
It's gonna say
Match.
right. So like Orton and Jericho, that's a possible storyline. They can reestablish Orton as legit heel in the business. And yeah, Diva, like you said, you already plugged the school marching band and your YouTube channel.
Another.
The Bunny. I'm not
Another,
the Bunny. I think
another
they're probably going to try to push the Stardust uh, and Uso thing because I don't even call it Gold Star because Stardust is the reason why they're popular.
Yeah, the Cosmic Key or the Cosmic Star or whatever. Jamil, you wanted to say something?
another theory that I had at Night of Champions. I feel like that we haven't seen the last of Undertaker. I feel like Undertaker, the lights are going to go off and like he's going to do something to Lesnar, and then Cena's going to pin Lesnar and win. Either
So
that,
you're
or the other theory I said. It's one of the two things. This match isn't going to be like last time. It's going to be like a straight conventional match like it was last time. Something's going to happen. Either with the Authority or with Undertaker, but I know something's going to happen. Just have the feeling.
I was gonna say if he can get him over clean, that'd be something. Like how a lot of people, internet wrestling fans, the IWC. I was gonna say a lot of people from the IWC were shocked when Cena put Brock Lesnar clean at SummerSlam. So if he doesn't put over, if Brock can't, if Cena can't put over Brock cleanly at Night of Champions, then that's just rude, you know.
Yeah.
So
I don't,
like,
But
there's no
if,
point
let me tell you something, would you be disappointed if John Cena beat Brock Lesnar in a dirty way and that became the heel of the company? Would you be disappointed if that happened, or would you be excited?
I would be excited because we haven't seen Cena heel in so long. It's been so much, you know, it's been so long that we haven't seen him as a heel. It'd be funny to see, or not funny, it'd be exciting to see how he will portray himself now that, you know, once he turns heel, the Make-A-Wish will stop happening, you know, the public relations, all that stuff will just stop and, like, you know, burn. So it'd be exciting. So
like I don't see what the point of feeding the Wyatts to Cena, feeding all these high quality talents to Cena to build up for this match in at Night of Champions. Well, because one reason I think because they want people to watch it, but another reason that I think somehow, some way, Cena's going to win. So somehow, and it's not going to be clean. Like I feel like this is the opportunity that in the world, WWE quote unquote universe, the world, everyone's been waiting for it. The opportunity to turn John Golden Boy Cena heel. That's what we clamor for. Like a couple years ago, we were begging for Orton to turn heel. We're begging to turn
yeah, I agree with you on that one. And one little segment that we've all forgot to touch down on, WWE paid tribute to the late Joan Rivers. She passed away from complications of a throat surgery. So there was a segment where they paid respects to her. And yeah, well that seals the deal. Devo, you already plugged your stuff. Jamil, you have anything to plug, dude?
this YouTube, YouTube channel.
I was gonna
Search
say,
my
I was gonna say, you can find me at youtube.com/Lee Mixtress. I'm a DJ originally. I do these because it's something I'm interested in. You know, do something other than just sit around, play games all day and mix. But guys, I want you to stay after this too. After we go off the air, so we can test some stuff out. But thank you for tuning in to WWE Raw review for September 8th, 2014. We will see you later.